You ready?
Wow, early.
You ready?
How long you until coffee?
Man.
I think you should be opening questions.
I'm excited. Somebody please ask me. Let's start it off with questions that I can't nor don't want to answer first. Huh?
We got that. All right.
No. First and foremost, what doesn't have to do with today? Go.
Are Sealer and Johnny participating?
Okay. So, all right. So Zach Sealer, he's been in the building every single day during the off-season program. You will see him on the field doing some stuff. The length, well, you'll just have to hold your breath and see. And you will not see Jonnu on the field today or this week.
Why for Jonnu? Why will we not see him?
I didn't think there was going to be a follow-up. That's something that that we've been in communication with, and I don't really need to get into personal matters totally. I'm not really hiding anything. It's just not about today, and I'm better suited to answer questions about that.
Here's another question you don't want to answer.
Come on, I love it. I love the opportunity.
I believe this is called mandatory minicamp.
It is.
Is Jonnu going to be fine for not being here?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into personal matters, but it's been communicated and we're on the same page.
Just to confirm, Jalen Ramsey not here.
Oh, he is not here. We are focused on building the Dolphins today, and anything outside of that would any sort of distractions I'm not focused on.
Are you surprised it's taken this long to find a resolution with the team?
I don't personally, and I would lump you into this with me. I don't give a shit about what I feel. I don't even really go down that road of how do I feel about it. My job is to react and control my controllables and make sure that people are moving in one direction appropriately. And so the business is business. The opportunity that business does provide in the off season is a rep to the team about handling noise. What do I define noise as? Noise is things that don't have to do with what actually you're there to do and you should be focused on doing because you'll be held accountable to do. So business in the off seasons allows you to speak to your team about how the focus of noise is a constant battle that if you're successful, you have to win. And it's about not really caring about all things other than what we're here to do today, which is mandatory minicamp practice 1.
Are there excused absences today?
There's the Jalen Ramsey's absence is excused, yes.
Jair Alexander is a free agent who's available. Will the Dolphins consider adding him?
Well, I think our starting point is we're considering everything. That's our jobs too. Again, those are things that my major focus is on the team. Conversations with Chris are fluid, but again, there's a lot of nameplates that you guys are familiar with from last year that are coming to work today to make sure that you're underselling all those nameplates at all positions. So I'm focused on those guys, really. And anything could happen. I'll adjust to whatever. Nothing's really going to rattle me. So bring them. What else? Any other topics on deck? What?
You might want to answer.
What?
Yeah. Is that legal? We're going to be talking with Cam Smith later today.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he in his development? What does he need to do to get on the field?
Well, so the starting point this off season for all the players, and particularly younger players that are trying to establish themselves in the National Football League, is how we focus on the job at hand. So much of defensive back play, so much of defensive play, particularly in coverage, is something that I don't hear anybody talk about. Eye discipline. From every play, how you align your body posture, where your eyes are, and your consistent variables that you can rely on when you're having to think about other things. He has jumped into that full force. So he is getting real stuff out of every day. Why I say real is because practicing football without the focus that's consistent with game day execution is like the difference between playing catch and running a route in an offense. It's totally different. So he is chopping wood, and that's what I'm the end result I wouldn't want right now to get where we want to go, both the organization and the player. There's much work that needs to be built upon what he's put in thus far. So we're at a good spot in where we're developing this year for him to perform and for his teammates to count on him. But it's not only his job to get to this point, but to follow through without any sort of step backs and vigor and focus every day moving forward. So we'll see what he has in store based upon thus far this offseason. I think it'll be a good day for Cam Smith today. Well, I'll let you tell him face-to-face if he followed through with his intent and deliberate nature that he's done so far this offseason.
Mike, Coach, is it fair to say at this point, you've watched these cornerbacks for, I'm assuming, a month with you on the field, that it's any man's game at this point for those outside boundary jobs?
Yeah, because I think the biggest thing is what we've captured this offseason that I prioritize over everything is really like a competitive, get something out of the day, develop mindset. All right, so we are going to, if I'm asking players to develop their game, I can't right in the middle of it expect them to really go after it and say, hey, you're accountable for the result. There's a day in, day out challenge that really I start meetings challenging the line of scrimmage, particularly with wide receiver versus DBs. And then you watch how they play with confidence, but more so, defensive back is about the next play after you get beat. It's not if but when. So we are getting major evaluation stuff that a guy might have a good day for 2 days. To me, that's a setup at this stage in the evaluation for me. I'm waiting. Okay, 2 good days. This is fantastic. I can't wait till he gets beat, because now we got action. Now we're seeing who we're dealing with, because the one thing that I can't coach is that mental fortitude to bounce back, an inherent feature in the game, and that's what we're looking for. And that's how you're starting to hear. You talk to other players across the ball, and you feel that they're not trying to pick who the best corner is, because every day you have to come to work and deliver your best stuff, or whoever's guarding you will be the best corner for the day. Challenge accepted. Competitive mindset to develop, not to figure out the depth chart today. Let's be clear. When I was asking them to figure out my depth chart, I was talking about in a month, 2 months or so. So that's why. It's not because of feelings. It's literal to promote growth in your game, because this is where this time of year where there's no games and there's weird stuff for there's not much for you guys to report on. This is where players define themselves for their upcoming season. So each and every day is supremely important for those guys, because we're competing every day, and we have to not only see how they start, but how they handle adversity that will come week 1, 2, 3, and every game that exists moving forward.
Mike, Ashton Davis is a guy who started roughly a third of his career games, 8 interceptions, 4 fumble recoveries, seems to have a nose for the ball. What are the 2 or 3 things you want to see from him to prove that he's a starting caliber player?
Well, I think it's more. I think we, both he and we agree that he is of that caliber, and he's going to get the opportunity to earn that role that he covets. But how does he do that? Well, he's exemplified out the gate, being supremely coachable in and not just a surface level. Hey, this guy listens. It's all right. I'm going to take the points of emphasis, keyword emphasis, and I'm going to apply that every rep for this practice. So you're a guy that is talented, has the desire, but is also coupling, the residuals of deliberate practice stacked on top of each other. So what I need is to see no regression from that development being a technician of sorts thus far in camp, to make sure that growth stays linear or even exponential, particularly after more defense gets in and the inevitable safeties have the same situation corners do, same as every player. So much of this is forcing or creating a competitive environment, making the stakes high, and then seeing how people respond. Failure is the key, because too many people are avoiding failure in life and in football. It's not about avoiding the failure. It's about taking those lessons and utilizing it to build, because you're either getting better or you're getting worse. There's nowhere in between.
What's most important for this camp? Is it growth, or is it getting out injury free?
So the team, to me, this off season, we're staring at our 8th week together in the appropriate ramp up period, right? And I've seen, what is the off season? Well, the off season is really what you make of it. And in the 7 weeks, I've seen guys come together I can see a vision of a team. Remember, the whole league's dealing with the same thing, where you're getting 55% or 45% turnover, right? So being able to feel a team in 7 weeks, I've gotten to that point where I have an idea of a team. Not exactly what it's going to look like. They'll define that by their daily work. But the elements of a team that you can only really create through blood, sweat, tears, hard work, and mutual sacrifice, right? Well, this week, I think taking, the semblance of the team that I think the entire team does feel, let's see how good we can get the ball, how much we can challenge each other, and every play is a productive play. It's a success. If it's a success on one side, it should be earned. And in that process, in playing football is 100% injury sport. You play football, you will get injured. It is a cost of doing business. I do feel good about how we practice and how we protect each other. So most importantly is we are trying to go after how good can we get this team in the spring. And, the cost of football is football, but that's where our priorities are. And obviously, if we do everything the right way and control the controllables, we have the best chance of staying healthy, and in an optimal world, we'll be 100% healthy. But I think this is a key time to develop the standard with which your team moves, operates, who they are as they define it. So this week will be an important week to see that through.
To his yards per attempt and air yards per attempt were down last year. How can you guys get back to more explosives on offense?
Well, first I'll ask a question. As the authority of space yards, what was the last year's defensive at the snap, the space to eligibles ratio? Meaning, how much is the defense off? What's the pass rush? Are we things will be more even when the whole entirety of the offense is even. When our ground game is where we want it and our line of scrimmage play is where we want it, the pre-snap depth of defenders and what they're defending at the very beginning of the snap and post-snap, that changes as well. To me, I'm just not trying to I'm not trying to tell Tua to throw the ball to defensive players. Turnovers are a huge part of the game, or get sacks. So you have to earn those explosive opportunities. To answer your question, the hope is that there will be more based upon the defensive presentations that we earn. But the one thing last year showed us is that we have to earn everything based upon previous things we've done, and that they will simply take away explosive pass game by pre-snap depth unless you can make them pay in the ground game and make them exposed for their overplay. And that, I think, is a bigger reflection of where those yards per attempt will be. Do we have people defending closer to the line of scrimmage earlier? And you do that by threatening them, by earning it.
Mike, what have the early returns been from finally getting Chop, Bradley, and Jalen on the field at the same time?
Early returns. My face has recognized it. I feel myself smiling. I can feel that, so I know it's true. I think just by and large, one thing I really thought that we could get a tremendous amount of gains in the off season as we attack it and develop who we are is through competition, and having the most talented players be the hardest working players, and players that you can feel their love for football every time they're on the grass, gigantically beneficial. It's a tone setter in and of itself. I think having both Bradley and Jalen back is something that they were on the team doing their absolute above and beyond best that they could do to impact the team while coming back from injury, but it's a different presence that I think has been understated and has been gigantic. I think you talk about the work for the tackles, you talk about the work for the quarterbacks. Every time they bring their best to practice, that's who's getting better along with them influencing the defense. You have the best way to teach a quarterback how to play on time is to have edge rusher production in practice, because you're like, see, you're dead here. Would you like not to be dead? All right, let's play with timing. Those types of things, hugely impactful. And anytime that you have some living testaments of like real reality, which is the game, this beautiful game that I coach, you guys cover, they play. Your existence within it is finite. So truly appreciating the little points. You're hard pressed to roll your eyes and be like, "Oh, another practice," when you go past Bradley Chubb. What, I worked a year and a half for this practice. So Did that answer your question? You kind of got me fired up.
Mike, you said in March that Zach Wilson was a direct calculated target. I'm curious, what's impressed you the most about him, and anything unexpected that you've seen from him so far?
No, there's residuals to people just in general that have gone through things that are very beneficial at the quarterback position or just on a football team. But as a football player, I think he's come close to about as much scrutiny as one could have. Your top 3 draft pick, he was 2 in New York City. Well, I mean, I think Joe Namath figured that out, and everybody else is like, whoa, this is a lot. But that's what I see is a guy that is playing football with the empowerment of, you know what, I'm strong enough to handle anything. And a guy like that that's continually working at his craft, who has supreme arm talent, it's cool to watch him grow, particularly in our offense, because guys with arm talent always throw it late. You have a stronger arm, I'll just wait and see it. Go back to like John Elway and dudes with cannons. So then a guy with arm talent like that to challenge to play the game of football, the quarterback position, the only reason I would even challenge him in that regard is because he has the power of this game adjustment, or what coach is asking of me is minuscule, rabbit pellets relative. So he's exhibited that because coming in, I'm gonna challenge the guy, and because at the quarterback position you are supremely challenged every drive, every quarter, and he looks like a guy that has been through some shit and found his way through it, because it does not make him worse. He learns from it, and that's realistically the best thing that's gone on this offseason is I've seen a lot of people match those types of energies of supreme conviction in trying to be their very best, and you do that by boldly attacking stuff a lot of times that are uncomfortable.
Regarding Alec Ingold, I'm wondering if you can quantify his value to the run game. It seemed to me last year that, yes, the run game went down when Austin Jackson went down, but also I think Ingold might have gotten hurt.
Both are. There's elements of more causation rather than correlation. Like, huge, gigantic. Like, what people don't understand is, so Alec Ingold makes a block. Well, when he comes from the backfield and goes into the line of scrimmage and blocks whomever, half the team adjacent to him has better angles at their blocks. So a fullback allows you to, every play, not only is he executing his block, but he's made the angle better for the center on his target, which helps him execute his blocks. So that's the trickle down. The physicality at the point of attack, the known matchups going into a game where, hey, this dude is a physical thumper that compresses force. All right, well, hey, Alec, we're going to need a tone set at the beginning of the game. Those things are, in football, that's the end all. So accountable teammate that not only is he executing and getting better and better at the point of attack, but simply put, a fullback in the run game for offenses is the ultimate point guard for the offensive line, helping their angles and their leverage and their ability to block talented athletes.
With Tua, are there any teaching reinforcements being taken at this stage in the offseason to help him avoid unnecessary hits come the regular season?
I mean, would you would you like for there to be? I think everybody in concert could say yes. To answer your question, I, like everyone else, really want him to be healthy, and you can, you plan so that you are hitting on all cylinders if he's not playing. But the end all be all, you have a franchise quarterback. You want him to play, not hang out with me on the sidelines. So, the experience last year, I think if you think of 2024 for Tua, realizing in the most egregiously slow, painful way of just the effects of not having him on the field, the residuals. I think he started the offseason as it being the primary importance. And come on, every effing rep this dude has, that is an opportunity to reinforce something paramount. I'm probably gonna over reinforce paramount. So yes.